Hey, welcome back to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. Sorry I don't have any introduction music yet. I'm working on that, I promise. Tonight's game is a serious lesson for us beginners and amateurs. If you're new to the chess world, the beginning chess and all that, this lesson is going to be incredibly valuable for you. If you're an intermediate player, this lesson is going to be incredibly valuable to you. If you're an expert and a grandmaster, this lesson is going to be extremely valuable to you. For this reason, two very good grandmasters played this game, and one of the grandmasters, for whatever reason, just did not implement a basic chess strategy. It's a strategy that we can learn in just one video, this one, and we're going to. So what I'm going to tell you tonight, and we're going to have some fun, I'm going to kind of ham it up a little bit, but I'm going to end on a serious note because the lesson here is critically important to always implement in our chess games. After you watch this video tonight, if you're in the mood to go play a game of chess with whoever, if you'll implement this, what I'm going to teach you tonight, show you tonight because of this game, your game will automatically be stronger. And from now on, you need to put this into every game you play. And the other good news is, there's not one grandmaster in the entire world who will disagree with what I'm going to tell you tonight. If you think I'm kidding, if you know some grandmasters, send them to this video and ask them, hey, this guy says this about this strategy. Is he right? And you'll see. So let's get on with it. This is Nunn and Sokolov playing. Nunn is the white, Sokolov is the black. It's going to be a Sicilian defense, which is a very popular, good defense. Let's get going here real quick, and I'll pick it up to a certain part of the game, and that all of this is just standard stuff, standard Sicilian. Got to make sure I mark it so I don't lose my place. The pawn will exchange, usually in the Sicilian, and the knight will take the pawn in the Sicilian, and then, of course, the knight comes out. Now, at this point, no, don't take the knight. Yeah, there's variations, but Nunn doesn't take the knight, so we're not going to worry about it. Instead, Nunn keeps developing with knight c3. And then Sokolov goes to a6. And that's a nifty little move that helps Sokolov with a trick he wants to do. Nunn is going to keep developing, trying to remain mobile, get his forces out, and mobilize. Now, from my favorite instructor that I love the most, Jeremy Silman, he would say in this board position, when we analyze this position, white appears to have a little bit more space, and that's what Neil MacDonald said. This is in Neil MacDonald's book, Chess, The Art of Logical Thinking. A fantastic book. MacDonald gives commentary on every single move in every single game. They're great chess games in here. This hedgehog formation, however, yes, he doesn't have as much space right now, but this is a tough puppy to crack. This is a good standard Sicilian opening for black, right? So he's continuing to be mobile. He brings up the d6 pawn. And now he continues developing to bishop e3. The queen comes up to c7. The idea here is the queen wants to influence the center, right? And eventually, if these pawns either move up or get exchanged or whatever, then the queen, her influence will grow. And so this is a good square to put the queen on. And now, Nunn does this. He gains more kingside space. With this particular move, Nunn might as well have looked up from the chessboard and told Sokolov, oh, hey, by the way, I'm doing a kingside attack tonight. I'm coming to get your king. That's what that move is telling you. When you see your opponent press that move, and if the board is fairly open like this in this area, and he's available to castle, and he's got both bishops out, and he's got both knights out, I promise you, he's going for the king side most of the time, right? So he's announcing it. I'm going to the king side. This is going to be a terrific battle. Sokolov comes to here. Oh, the reason he pushed the pawn is because he didn't want to deal with any nonsense from the knights. You know what I mean? I mean, he didn't want to willy-nilly with his queen, so he just put it into that. So that was his idea there. But now Sokolov comes to a5. And it just doesn't seem to address the issue of what is happening right now. That move isn't the best move Sokolov could have done. None castles, and this accomplishes two very important things. One, it tucks his king away into safety. Not that he's being attacked, but he's out of the way. And two, it puts the rook on a future open file. Okay? Always good to do that. So this is a very good move. This last move of Sokolov's, it didn't accomplish as much as he thought it would. And then he moves it a third time to c4. Now, c4 is a great square, but it's not an outpost. It doesn't have any support of the pawns to keep that horse there. Technically, we're in the opening, but notice None already has all four of his minor pieces developed. It only took him 7 moves. And Sokolov seems to be monkeying around with the same piece several times. That's a critical error on Sokolov's part. Well, a nun realized, heck man, he just threw away 2 tempo, just like that, because he took the horse. Now he has nothing to show for any of his wasted moves at all. But here's one of the positions that I wanted to elaborate on a little bit. Black is essentially, for all essential purposes, black is 3 to 4 full moves behind. And what does he have to show for this? 1 queen. Look at none. I've been calling him Noon, N-U-N-N. It's probably none. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting the queen because she can come up here real fast. She is very influential, so is the rook. 5 to 1. In a Sicilian, that is not good odds for Sokolov, the black player. He's really not doing really well right now. How does None respond to this? Pushes F5. Now that is a fabulous move. Why? Listen to what MacDonald says. MacDonald says, the white spearhead finally contacts the defensive players so that the battle to open up the file is occurring. Notice None is taking the battle to Sokolov, right? He's not Mickey Mousing around over here doing that. If you make a move like that, if you're not quite sure what to do, and you start doing stuff like this, no. That is a complete waste of time. That does not address the issue. The issue is kingside attack. Everything is designed to go for that kingside. This particular board is telling you, get the king. This is what you should be doing. It's a great setup, right? So, Sokolov realizes, oh hey, notice his entire kingside wasn't even begun to be developed. He said, well, okay, yeah, I've got to get my bishop out. This is going to get real sticky real fast if I really don't get going here. What would you do if you were white at this point? What move could you make that would truly make this position even stronger. Kapow! Put your queen out there. Man, that is a powerful piece coming into this. That's a great move. Obviously, none wants the king. That's obvious. So, Sokolov pushes the H-pawn. He's not ready to castle yet. He really doesn't have a lot of powerful development. He really doesn't have a lot of space. He's got one good queen, but she's not doing anything. And he's pushing a pawn to take the queen back out of this. The queen comes to f3. Now, don't kid yourself. The queen is happy at f3. The f3 square is a great square. In fact, she's got the backup of the rook. It's a fantastic file. And once this piece goes up, she's got a terrific diagonal. Because none, notice the center is not locked. It really is kind of fluid right now. And none is moving his way toward the king. So this pawn isn't going to just sit there idle, right? He will be pushing the pawns and opening up the board for the pieces, because he's going to attack that king. What he has to do is destroy this area. That's his goal. You can tell by the way he's moving that that is his goal. Let's see, where was I? F5. So he pushed this. Queen G4. He pushed this. And Queen F3. Okay, here's where we are. Now, Sokolov, and I want you to just notice this. It's not a critique, and yet in a way it is, but Sokolov is almost forced to move his bishop a second time. So see, we saw the knight move 3 times, gone. Just threw those moves away. The queen has moved twice, and she's really not doing anything except occupying the c4 square. So what? The action's not over here. None is going this way. It would be nice if the queen could get over here, right? And now he's moved his bishop twice. So black, for all intents and purposes, black is 3, maybe 4 moves behind right now. In a Sicilian, that's not good, but he had no choice. Why? Because none has announced, I'm going to attack you by his moves. He's not going to not attack that pawn. He's coming up to attack that pawn. It's going to open up the file that is now occupied by a queen and a rook, so he's clogging up the file. See, that's one way. That's a strategy to prevent the power of the file from being used against you. So it's the right idea. It's a good move. But again, he had to do this twice. And of course, once you're marching, go man go. So he takes the e-pawn. Absolutely. He wants to destroy this area to get to that uncastled king, and the king is still uncastleable. He still has another move with the knight before he can castle. So he is really behind, and none is breathing down his neck. So this does not look good for Sokolov. Now, of course, he takes the pawn. Now you have an open file. Yikes, right to the king, the uncastled king. Yeah, this is not good. What's the next thing none does? What would you do next? You know what you're doing. You understand the theme. You can read that board fairly well. Here comes the judge. None continues going to the king. Right. So he pushes the other pawn. He is relentless. He wants to rip the center open. He wants to get those pieces out of the way so he can attack. So that's a perfectly logical move. Keep going. That's what he's doing. It's great chess. Well, He responds by retaking the pawn. And now he's got a threat against the knight. A lot of us, beginner, intermediate, I mean even some of the higher rated players, you know, we get uncomfortable when a piece is attacked by a pawn, right? That insolent, saucy little sassy jerk. How dare he attack the noble steed? Well, how he dares is he took a pawn and he said, look, dude, you don't move your sorry horse butt, I'm going to kick you out of this game. Right? Does none react to this? Look, that's in a great spot. Central space, on the 4th rank, that horse is strong. Does he do that? That would be positively stupid. No, he doesn't do that. Of course not. Does he move out of the way there? No, he can't. Does he move out of the way there? No, he can't. Does he move down here to safety because his horse is being threatened? And I'm probably making too big a deal about this. I want to show you an interesting lesson here. When you have a piece that is threatened, at times, truly, it is good to get it out of the threat. But if you'll take the time to look at all the pieces, their arrangement on the board, their relationship to each other, you might find a better move. None did. He put the knight right there. That was his point of pushing the e-pawn to get it taken. Now you've got even a better placed knight. Now you've got 2 central knights. But wait, aren't you going to just lose the knight? No. Because look, if he takes this knight, then he can go right there and go check and fork the queen. Ah! A much better power move than simply moving your threatened piece out of the way, isn't it? That's great. He gets stronger central, further penetration and location, more influence and power, and he prevents his own knight from being taken. That's good chess, right? That's really awesome. Oh, I'm getting behind here. So, Sokolov drops the queen. Finally! How long has the queen been sitting there picking her nose? You know? Now here she is, you know, guarding the back rank because guess who's coming for dinner? And he's uninvited. Yeah, and now he has better central influence and he's actually protecting this pawn. Now see, you've got doubled pawns. So you know the front one's weak. Although you do have a tall pawn with the bishop. So weak, yeah, maybe not. But still not a good situation. Okay, so the queen finally, we're on move 16. The queen came out here at about move 6 or 7. 10 moves sitting there doing nothing. That's not good. What does none do? He puts his queen over on g3. This is a very quiet, exquisitely powerful move. Sometimes you don't have to be directly attacking to make an astonishingly strong move. What he does is he opens up the file for the rook. He takes control of the other file with the queen, and he pins the pawn to the queen. So the pawn can't take that knight. You notice he's continually moving other pieces, getting in better position, building up his strength of attack, and all the while his horse is threatened, and he's virtually ignoring it. That's good chess. If you're improving your position, that's good chess. Really important to see that. So, knight e7. Okay, Sokolov is finally able to castle. But look at the board. Why would you? His king position is already just shattered. And you ain't seen nothing yet. But, so he at least comes out. Yeah. Okay, good. Good. What he's doing is he's covering the G6 square. Because the queen's going to come right to there and go check. And then she's gonna absolutely destroy everything in here, right? So it does serve a function, sort of. Okay, quiz time. What do you see? Yeah, you know it. You know it. Well, the good news is, so does none, and so does the backyard professor. Rook on your open file, dude. Right? Another one. Look at this. On this side of the king, on this side of the king, two astonishing powerful steeds, a bishop, a queen. Oh, if your mouth is not watering with that setup, you're not comprehending how powerful it is. That is fantastic attacking chess setup. But notice how he's taking his time. He's putting his whole army into this. That is great chess. Fantastic. Well, Sokolov, astonishingly, pushes the H-pawn. Now, I'm not dissing Sokolov at chess, because he would wax me if every one of you, my viewers, were to get together with me and have Sokolov play us in an exhibition. He would wipe us all off the board. He's not, this is not impugning his chess. He was having an off night. So his mind wasn't into this game. I'm just convinced of that because, dude, at this point, with this setup, knowing how we read this board right now, Sokolov has to hurry up and put that bishop there and castle queenside and get that piece and that piece into play. Right? I can't believe he didn't do that. I don't know. He was having an off night. It does not mean he's a bad chess player. Not even maybe. But this move, yeah. Observe something. Us beginners, the intermediates, sometimes the experts. Now you have a piece that's being threatened, although it is pinned. Great chess. But now you have another piece, and not just any piece, your mighty queen, and she is being threatened, and you can't just take the pawn. You know, that saucy, insolent little midget of a pawn is picking on the monarch. What would you do as white? We like to get our pieces that are threatened out of the way. It's the queen, dude. You know, without the queen, you really don't have much of an attack, right? So, do you get her safe and out of the way? If you were going to do something like that, if you had a chess teacher, he would beat the snot out of you. That is way wrong. No. What does none do? This is a great lesson. I know I'm overemphasizing, but I'm trying to burn it into your mind how fabulous this is. You need to watch this several times to really appreciate how good this next move is. It's fabulous. Knight takes the bishop. Check. He's got a piece threatened. Pfft, nothing doing. He's got his most magnificent piece threatened other than the king. Pfft, horse feathers. Check. Wow. Wow, but look what this move does. Look what this move does. You say, this guy has lost it. No, this guy has lost it. This guy, he's winning it. G takes the horse. Thank you for your service. You gallant steed, you get to go to horsey heaven. What did that do for none? It cleared G7 for him. Fantastic. Here's the point, according to MacDonald. He attacks the rook. Duh. Even a dork like me can see that. And by doing this, he gains time to dismantle the pawn structure. So Rook needs to protect his king, doesn't he? Definitely. Now, he's got some variations in here for if the rook decides to go here, and I can't play through them right now because then I have to reset up the board. And, you know, I'm going to just do the main variation, which is utterly spectacular itself. But if you have this book, the variations are really good, but they don't work out for black either. The suspicion is Sokolov worked those variations, of course. I mean, we're talking a Grandmaster here, a guy who really knows how to play chess. So here's how Sokolov begins to defend his noble monarch, right? So, what do? Pow! Hit him right on the chin. What a power move, man. That rocks. Isn't that the point of an open file? Yeah. You're gonna let just a punk pawn stop you? No. Get up there and show him who's in charge. So what happens is, he got a pawn and a rook for a rook. That's great chess, especially in the attack of a king. That's not bad. In fact, that's quite good. In fact, that's really good. I so promise. Now, there is nothing there. Look at that board. Holy shish kebab. He has completely eliminated the entire king side, man. Holy shish kebab. That's awesome, isn't it? Wow. He's manhandling Sokolov. I love games like this because they're so gosh dang instructive. So Queen D6. Yeah. You know, you're in deep doo-doo, my friend. That is about the only thing he can do, and it's not near enough. It just isn't. And he shows, again, there are quite a few fun variations. You know, pause the video and try to work out on your chessboard some of the variations. There's some really spectacular ones, but absolutely every one of them favor white. How many moves has it been that this poor knight has been threatened? I counted them. 8 moves. He has literally been ignoring that for 8 moves, man. And look at what he's done in the meantime. Instead of worrying about bumping this horse to safety and letting Sokolov chase him around and wasting time, he has literally wiped the king side off. Now that's chess, right? Finally, what do you do when you're none? Now look. Now, you need to move your knight to safety, right? No! No! Look, that's a great position. Yeah, you're being threatened. But to go backwards when you've been going forwards all this time? No. Heavens no. In fact, you can keep ignoring it. This is insane. He brings his bishop up to g5, man. And now, watch. Yeah, this... who cares? Look, you've got a checkmating square now. You got your queen and backed up by your bishop. You've got a checkmating square. Oh, you notice the queen is guarding it. Who cares? That doesn't matter. You now have established a checkmating square. Right? That's great chess, man. So, hey! You get to go to horse heaven. Thank you for your service, oh great noble steed. He finally gets to take the horse 8 moves later. And how does none respond to that insolent horse murder? He says, off with his head. Bam! Attacks the pawn, directly threatening the queen. Now here is the catch. You can't lose your queen. But you can block her, right? Saved the queen. Well, what do? None just kept coming at that king and queen. Have you noticed that's the theme in this game? The pawns, relentless, just going forward, obliterated the king side. And now all the pieces are just coming at him. Now here's the catch. You can't take the rook. Because if you do, you're getting checkmated. You leave the checkmating square. And if you come down to here out of danger, but you're still maintaining control over that checkmating square, then you're in trouble. Well, I mean, you can come to here, but you lose the lady. He'll just take the queen, right? If you go back to here, you blew it. The game's over. The queen comes here to checkmate. So if you come back up to here, the pawn can't take the rook because you'll lose the queen. Oh, you were here, sorry. If you come to here, you've covered the checkmating square, but all he has to do is go check. And then the queen takes it, and you take the queen, check, and anyway, on and on and on. Anyway, he resigned after the rook took the knight. Here's the takeaway. Here's why I wanted so badly to show you this game. It emphasized, McDonald emphasized it, and I probably made too big a deal about it, but I need to reinforce this lesson to you because it's so simple. You don't have to spend 3 months studying how to put this into practice. You know it right now. Tonight, your chess has been improved if you will take this lesson home. He never used those 2 pieces. He may as well have not even played with them. Would you ever set up a chessboard and let a coach or a chess tournament director come and say, oh, by the way, I'm going to take your knight and your rook. You can't play with them this game. Would that not infuriate you? Of course it would. That's simply not fair. Okay, take that lesson home personally. If you're not going to use your pieces, you're not going to use your full potential. So the takeaway from this is the reason White won is because he had superior development. And he was able to coordinate many more pieces together to make a systematic win on this game. He was 2 powers down the entire game because he did not use 2 of his powers. So the takeaway is this, and I mean, shut the video off and go play a game of chess right now with whoever, if you don't think I'm kidding. And do this from now on. Every game you play, you make sure every piece is developed. And you automatically improve your game right now, tonight, if you haven't been doing it. That's the takeaway. Apparently, even Grandmasters forget that, and it's such a simple thing. So, hey, that's the lesson for this video. Thanks for letting me elaborate on this fun obfuscation. What a great game, huh? And you know, let's be grateful to Sokolov for playing this game. How many tens of thousands, if not millions of chess players are going to see this game and recognize the importance of, because Sokolov had an off night, not because he's a lousy chess player, he had an off night, and because he didn't put together such a simple strategy, he helped reinforce in all the rest of us. He taught us a great lesson. The cost of not using all your powers is the game. And if it's a championship